Hey, sorry, things got crazy and I was on a call, but I figured I would just send a voice memo and you can call me back later if you want.
Okay, yes. There literally needs to be a study about, like, the specific mental illnesses that actors and performers have, and the illnesses they contract or make for themselves when they don't get what they want. Because these people are crazy. Also, I think it's so funny I'm not using my AirPods today, so I've literally been listening to your voice memos, like, walking in the Garden District of New Orleans, which is very bougie, just, like, voice notes playing, being like, oh my god, like, so, love this for me. I'm almost at the dog park. I hate weddings as well. Mostly because it's so expensive. I gotta get a dress. I have to go there. I have to buy a present. Never mind if I'm in the, like, wedding shower. Like, please, friends of mine listening to the podcast, do not have me be in your wedding party. Unless you're literally Olivia Khoshatefeh. All of my other friends, no. No. She will giggle when she hears this. Yeah, I would hate to see those people. I don't want to spend money on them. And also, too, let's be so real. Out of all those folks, like, who's throwing a good wedding? Actually, okay, there's a pair of people that are engaged that haven't gotten married yet. And I think you know who I'm talking about. And I feel like they would actually throw a really fun wedding. But still, the other attendees, no thank you. No, thank you. Also, too, this will probably be like episode 10. So by the time this gets published, nobody's going to know what the F we're talking about, which I love. I love it for us. I'm literally out of breath because it's like a 1.5 mile walk to the dog park. But we're almost there. Thank God.
I know that's the nice thing about us deciding to do these like 10-minute episodes and then coming up with this concept because I literally can't think of an easier way to do a podcast. I'm like we could literally probably bank a year's worth in like a month if we really wanted to and then just coast. But yeah, I like I really had fun at Chris and Maggie's wedding. That was really great. That was lovely. That was sort of the perfect mix of like theater people wedding, but not where it's like, like indie movie wedding where like it's so precious and so folksy that you're like, I want to kill myself. Um, but yeah, which the wedding that this wedding of the two people that we are primarily talking about is going to be a Portlandia episode. You know it is. It is absolutely going to be that. And like, that's when like as much as I can be like theatery, folksy, artsy, performative um super progressive, like I don't know what happens, but like all of a sudden just like my middle class upbringing kicks in and I'm like somebody starts playing like Rainbow Connection on a banjo and I'm like fuck my life. Get me out of here. That tends to be what happens. But yeah, I always laugh when when girls get really mad when they're not asked to be maid of honor or like not asked to be a bridesmaid. I'm always like, don't get mad because think about how much money you just saved. Like, I've said this before, if I was a woman, I wouldn't even ask my good friends to be my bridesmaids. I would just pick the four richest women that I know and just ask them because, I mean, I get that like the maid of honor gets to make a speech, so like that's a thing. But otherwise, like, I'm just going to pick the people I know can afford it because I feel like the quickest way to end a friendship is by putting someone in your wedding party. Like, I would much rather just be a guest or not go. But if you really want me there, I'll just be a guest and I will be so happy. Um, but yeah, also like weddings for me when I had even my teeny tiny little theater became stressful because if it was something where there were other theater people there, like they absolutely take the opportunity to like walk over to you and be like, "So am I doing any shows with you next year?" Like they 100% do that. And it just makes going to social functions with other people like in the arts very stressful. By the way, I know you're really not that big of a Twitter girly, and I have to, so I just feel like I feel it's my duty to inform you that Azalea Banks has unfortunately become my favorite person on Twitter. It started out where it was like, she's just so problematic and like, oh my God, like she'd pop up and you'd be like, oh girl, no, not this. And then it became a broken clock situation where like she was right twice a day. And you're like, okay, well, and now it's like in comic books where like the villain becomes the hero and you realize that like, oh, the only person who can take down some of these people is Magneto. Sorry, Professor X, but like it is what it is. Because first, like, she like set her sights on J.K. Rowling, and let me tell you, even when I didn't like Azealia Banks, I was like, do not pick a fight with that woman. Do not, you will not win, because she will go to hell. She will take you to hell with her. But yeah, J.K. Rowling, also chronically on Twitter, like, got into it with Azealia, and Azealia has taken just it's so nice to just see someone, and again, Democrats take notice, like it's so nice to see someone just be absolutely like unhinged when it comes to like, oh, you want to come for me, like I will make you live in fear for the rest of your life. Like it's just for certain people it's like, yes, thank God. But she since Kanye had his little meltdown on Twitter, and which people are saying like, how come he's not in a conservatorship, and like 100% yes. Um, but like she dislikes Kanye so much, and every time she takes a whack at Kanye, when I tell you like I could be in the middle of like brain surgery and I would have to stop what I was doing and be like, I'm so sorry, I need to like read whatever she just posted because it is going to be insane and crazy. And also like everything she says just has the aura of truth around it. Like when like when like you're dealing with a just inherently truthful person, and so like just like you're reading it and you're like, because all of us exaggerate to some degree or like put a little spin on things, like something about everything she says just rings so true. And I think part of it is she actually does go out of her way sometimes to be like, this is a theory, or like I don't really know about this but this is what I think, so that like when she actually like comes right out and says, no, like this is what happened, you're like, no, that's probably what happened.
I love the clock analogy for Azealia Banks. And yes, while I'm not on X, she is probably and has been my favorite person on Twitter. I love to keep up with her beefs. I love the clock analogy about her. I feel like also Azealia Banks is a prime example of, I may tell a joke, but I never tell a lie. I feel like that is her to the T. Oh my God. Walking back now with the dog, and she wants to stop every 2 seconds, and she's so strong that it's like I had to replay your voice memo like 5 times and try to like fast forward to find where I left off, blah blah blah. And I'm like, how could this dog still have energy? You literally just ran around with 6 dogs for like an hour. Like, aren't you tired? I'm tired. Okay, I'm home. Also, low key, I met a cutie at the dog park. His name's Josh. I didn't ask for his number or anything. I could tell he wanted to like ask for mine. He also mentioned casually within the like first minute of meeting me how he's 33 and single and he lives in my neighborhood, which means he must make good money unless he has a ton of roommates. But I thought you would like that little tidbit. So maybe when I see him next at the dog park, I'll offer my Instagram or something. But his dog was really cute and loved my dog, but his dog was just like a tad too rough, and he was like acting like it was fine, which like low key pissed me off. And I'm like, okay, if we date, then like you have to pay for your dog to go to a trainer, because my dog's a sweet fluffy angel puppy and was playing with your dog very nice, and your dog got a little too aggressive for my little princess. And my princess will fuck you up, but also, like, his dog was part pity, so her bites would be serious. And I'm like, I will punch your dog in the fucking face if your dog fucks with my dog, bro. I will lose limbs and fingers for this fucking puppy.
I love that you're already jumping to you being like the bad dog stepmother. Like, oh my God, I'm the stepmother to like an evil child, an evil stepdog.
It is Friday, March 21st, 1:31 p.m. And I was thinking about how we were talking about, or you mentioned Bumble yesterday, and I was like, I've never really used Bumble because I know it's like just an app looking for friends. And then I was on Twitter after we were talking about it, and somebody tweeted about how Bumble is apparently now just being used by guys on the DL, where they're like, "Yeah, I'm straight, I have a wife and kids, but I just need some buddies." And apparently, that's not the kind of buddy they're looking for.
Oh God, are they using Bumble BFF to find hookups? When there are so many like gay apps and places to go be gay, it's so crazy to me how people hide on the app meant for literal women to approach men in a safer way. It's so dumb.
Also, I'm assuming they do that so that like if their wife looks at their phone or something, they can be like, "Yeah, I'm just like looking for friends," and like I don't know. There are times where I'm like, we all really should have just let men be cavemen because now they figured out all these like loopholes for doing all the same shit they used to do, but like where you can't actually call them out on it because I can just see these men being like, I'm trying to make, connections and friendships and like bond in a healthy way. And like really they're just like out here looking for like, guys that they can fool around on their wives with on the side. And if their wives look at their phone, they're going to be like, oh, it's just Bumble. He just goes on there and makes friends, whatever. They probably tell the wives about it. They're probably like, oh, I'm actually hanging out with so and so this week. We talked on Bumble. And the wives are like, great, that's amazing. You're making friends. You're like being, not toxic. But I'm like, listen, if any one of my girlfriends was to tell me that their boyfriend was looking for guy friends on Bumble, I'd be like, girl, no, he's not. He's not. Because you're right, there's dating apps for dating and there's hookup apps for hookups, but like I I just have never in my life like met a guy who if a guy who can successfully get a girlfriend but somehow like isn't able to just make regular friends, like I don't think so.
Men are trifling all the time. Sorry for Dr. Phil in the background. It's like my comfort background noise show. I literally drank last night and I rarely drink anymore and I'm at 1:42 p.m. basically nursing a headache from a hangover. Literally have done nothing all day, but it feels good to do nothing. But yeah, men will always find a way to be trifling and they'll be like, yeah, the male loneliness epidemic, like I'm combating that by making sure that I'm cultivating friendships. We all know the type. And sadly, it's 99.99% of them.
I'm sorry, but there's nothing more gay than a friend asking if they left their harness at your house.
I would have to agree with you on that one. Oh, dear Lord. I also do not like some of these fashion statements.
Hello, hello. It is March. I'm gonna guess 23rd. I think 23rd, 3:06 p.m. Currently driving through Connecticut after having spent the day and night in New York. I am dragging a little bit because when you're already a night owl, like you're already like me and you think nothing of staying up until 3 a.m. on a weeknight. New York is a very dangerous place because I think we all agree there's a difference between staying up late and being out and staying up late, like in your home on your couch watching a movie. Where, like, if you're up late at home, you might like be a little tired the next day, but like you're still resting, you're still in your pajamas, you're still like laying down on a couch, you're not exerting too much energy, you're just not maybe getting enough sleep. And I always forget that important distinction when I'm in New York because I'll be out and it'll be like 2 a.m., 2:15, 2:30, and I'll be like, well, I stay up this late sometimes. Like, this is not a big deal. And then I wake up the next day and I remember, like, no, girl, it's very different. It's very different. And here we are today.
Good job on the date. It's my mom's birthday, so I won't ever forget. You are right. It's my 23rd. Right now it's 4:09. And a part of Louisiana called Harvey, which is really outside of New Orleans. I'm literally on the train waiting for the bus. It just saw Mickey 17, and I loved it. And yeah, no, I know that exact feeling because honestly, in New York, like, you could be out for 1 hour, like, at night, think you're taking it easy, but, like, you literally took 10K steps and, like, probably friggin' dance so much you sweat, like, pounds off your body, or you're, like, consuming alcohol, which you don't do. But, yeah, no, it's totally different. I'm someone, as you know, who stays in the house and drinks and gets a hangover and, like, can't hang. But, This was the busiest the movie theater's ever been since I moved here, and I've gone to the movies like 4 or 5 times in the month that I've moved here. And I almost took a picture of this like dad and daughter that were dressed up and almost sent it to burn at. But I wasn't brave enough to ask them to take their picture. But most of the crowd was there for Snow White, so it's good for our little friend. I loved Mickey 17, but now I'm just waiting for the bus and I'm super paranoid that I left my dog alone for too long. I took her out to walk twice before I went and she peed and pooped. I didn't feed her again, so I hope she's okay. Oh my god, how do people have children? I can't even go out without thinking about my dog.
Hey, sorry I missed you. It's me. It's Friday at 6 p.m. Just call me back.